We're not trying to turn Snow White into a MAGA conservative movie. We're just trying to represent the values that Snow White is based in, that are sadly being forgotten in this new adaptation.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
None of them remakes are any good.
The movie is terrible anyway.
Not gonna be safe for the prince. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Or you're making this girl boss story based on an important father figure. Her father tells her to be brave and strong. Don't you think that there's a, something redeeming about men in this story?
But why do you have to mess with a classic, especially with someone who doesn't even seem to like her own character?
Am I a psychopath?
But the problem is that Disney fundamentally isn't capable of making anything that is truly non-woke anymore.
They both have that look on their face, just like the feminists, like, yeah, we're so much better than you. Anyway.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
You know what? Maybe Disney does.
Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel?
You don't have to make men seem emasculated and puny to make women seem strong, and you don't have to eliminate them altogether, as this actress has actually suggested.
Has Disney finally hit rock bottom? Their recent live-action remake of Snow White isn't just a disappointment. It's shaping up to be one of their most embarrassing box office disasters ever. But how did it get this bad, this quickly?
So Disney's Snow White flops on sleepy opening. Of course it does, because they were disrespectful to their audience, and she did a bunch of stuff.
If Disney wants to make more woke films that tank at the box office, they are more than welcome to do that, but maybe think of an original idea. Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the plot and the storyline of the movie she's in, but also seemingly hates Snow White, the character herself.
This movie could have easily been cheap enough that they would have earned back their production budget and then some. $43 million for an opening weekend is terrible. It's terrible for a widely released, high-budget Disney film, but it should have been more than enough to make your money back. And then there's the movie itself, which by all accounts is terrible. It was destined to be terrible. We've been through all the problems with it. This is an uber-woke, feminist, girl boss reimagining of one of the most cherished films and stories of all time.
Just one weekend later, things went from bad to catastrophic for Snow White. With almost no strong competition, Snow White fell an incredible almost 70% at the box office, making only $13.7 million in its second weekend. Even worse, after 2 full weeks, the film has barely managed to cross the $120 million mark worldwide, and $87 million of that was from the first 3 days. This isn't just bad, it's historically terrible. But instead of acknowledging the failure, actress Rachel Zegler decided to celebrate, conveniently ignoring the overwhelming backlash and disastrous box office drop. Fans and critics quickly blasted her reaction as egotistical and tone-deaf, making a bad situation even worse.
So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat, and that's why people are so annoyed.
Everyone likes to make assumptions about my life. No, I've been getting a lot of questions about, how do I feel? Let's address the elephant in the room. It's great, okay? It's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath?
She's gone on to talk about this film numerous times, how she once thought Snow White was creepy, she doesn't like the prince, she thinks she should get paid more because she has to wear that dress, she should get paid for streaming. I mean, talk about biting the hand that feeds you.
They should call this movie Snow Woke and the 7 Pronouns.
As Snow White crashed spectacularly, Hollywood went into panic mode. Insiders began openly admitting what audiences had long been saying. Studios might have taken things too far with their insistence on politically driven woke narratives. Sources within the industry now openly discuss pulling back on overtly political themes, recognizing these tactics often push away mainstream audiences. In fact, industry experts confirm that studios are actively rethinking their strategies. After watching expensive, agenda-driven films bomb repeatedly, executives realize something needs to change, and quickly. They're shifting gears dramatically, hoping to regain audience trust by focusing less on politics and more on universally appealing storytelling. And what triggered this massive shift? Snow White's colossal failure was the final straw.
Disney just nose planted remarkably with Snow White and spent $250 million to make a dull mess and sink their damn company.
They went woke.
Yeah.
She went out and said stuff woke that was going to hurt the film. They couldn't come out and go against her because then you're going after somebody for saying what you say you believe.
Even the most girl bossy, feminist girls out there that I know, they still come home, they cuddle up on the couch, and you know what they watch? Rom-coms.
You can have female characters that are empowered, that do great things, that are heroines. I mean, that's fantastic. I don't think anybody has an issue with it. But you don't have to disparage men in the process. You don't have to call Prince Charming a stalker. You don't have to say that you could just eliminate him from the whole movie. I mean, there is a space where you can have strong females and strong males. It's called the real world.
Insiders now now openly expressed serious concern about how these political decisions are damaging the film business. According to recent reports, many studios see Snow White's financial implosion as proof that films prioritizing message over entertainment just aren't sustainable. It's become clear to Hollywood that appealing solely to niche audiences is financially irresponsible, especially when dealing with blockbuster-sized budgets. Studios are now carefully reconsidering projects, prioritizing narratives with broader, less divisive appeal. They're hesitant to greenlight films seen as politically charged, fearful of repeating Disney's costly mistakes.
The actress's race and the crackhead dwarves have become the least of my concerns. So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White and Disney, women can't even want to be in love anymore. That was back in the 30s when women actually wanted to be around men, actually wanted to be in love. Like,
you know, in the animated movie, she shows up to the dwarves' house. What does she do? She cleans the house, which is a mess, and she prepares a meal. But in the new movie, you can't have the lady cooking and cleaning. So what does she do in the new movie? She just takes a nap. That's the ideal of the modern woman.
Like, the culture is trying to push wokeness. Wokeness is not a deep archetype. It's using the idea of victimhood and vulnerability as a new religion.
But this wasn't just studio executives waking up. Audiences have clearly voiced their frustration too. Many moviegoers are tired of beloved stories being altered drastically just to fit trendy social messages. Viewers are craving entertainment and escapism, stories they can simply enjoy without lectures or agendas. Films that successfully prioritize entertainment over political messaging have flourished lately, highlighting exactly where studios need to shift their focus. Clearly, audiences are voting with their wallets, and Hollywood is finally noticing. I mean, clearly people just want entertainment. Jason Statham's new movie came in at #1 over this weekend, ahead of Snow White. That dude is like 60 still beating people up. This shouldn't be happening over a legendary cartoon, and their movie is on more screens. For now.
I do feel like Snow White, and I love what we've been able to do with her, and I love that young girls can look up to her and that they have been looking up to her for 88 years.
As the film's backlash escalated, Rachel Zegler found herself right at the center. Industry insiders now speculate openly that she could be quietly blacklisted.
So what do you think the odds are of this person working ever again?
But how many people do you hear about actors you love? You love what? Look at Robert De Niro. I love like basically every movie he's ever done. Every time that guy opens his mouth as a private citizen, I'm like, oh my God.
Major studios, Disney included, appear hesitant to attach her to future high-budget projects, worried her controversial image and poor audience perception might harm their film's financial viability. This puts Zegler's future as a Hollywood star into serious question. Could this one disastrous project derail her entire career? Pretty much the only good thing Rachel Zegler has going for her is that Pedro Pascal posted her on his Instagram story to show her support, or did Disney make him post her to try and save her career?
What can be said about this level of narcissism here? Greatest Disney box office bomb in the history of Disney live action remakes, but certainly also the end of her career.
I feel like this Snow White controversy is single-handedly like rolling back feminism. Like, all these women are watching Rachel Zegler on their social media. They're hating her because she's absolutely destroying this role.
After Rachel Zegler's Instagram celebration post went public, social media turned on her in an instant. Audiences saw her as completely disconnected from reality, arrogant, and unwilling to face harsh truths. Public opinion dramatically shifted, with many accusing her of being egotistical and out of touch, an image no actor wants. It's a stark reminder that in today's Hollywood, one misstep can erase years of goodwill in seconds.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
I've been a star before, and what happens is people puff you up and tell you that you're really important in order to keep you focused so that they continue to make money out of you.
Now, Disney, have you ever considered that your fairy tales have actually stood the test of time because they are always relevant, because that is what a fairy tale is, because they have timeless, universal values and lessons that any person, regardless of their age, regardless of their generation, could connect to.
Recognizing their film was officially box office poison, Disney began pulling promotional materials at lightning speed. Billboards and posters vanished overnight. Disney clearly knows how damaging this film's failure is to their brand, desperately attempting damage control. They're trying to move on, but is it too little, too late? Rumors are now swirling that Disney will start implementing tighter restrictions in actors' contracts. contracts, specifically limiting their ability to publicly discuss political topics. After the catastrophic backlash from Snow White, Disney won't risk another high-profile disaster. The industry is realizing the dangers of allowing actors free rein to voice controversial opinions, and they're shutting it down. Going forward, Disney actors might have to choose carefully between activism and stardom.
Somebody else said Snow White is kind, hopeful, resilient. Those are traits worth representing. Nope, not anymore. Outdated. If a woman is kind, that means that she is weak. We cannot have that anymore, ladies. You must be bossy at all times. You must be bratty, smug, and single and unhappy.
I know that you've rewritten it, and it's going to be about a Snow White that don't need no man to save her. Did you ever stop to think that in this day and age, that is exactly what we want? There are women in this world who want that fairy tale because all they've known is the exact opposite.
The spectacular failure of Snow White marks a pivotal moment in entertainment history. Audiences have spoken clearly. They don't want beloved stories twisted into vehicles for politics. Studios now face a tough choice: adapt quickly or risk financial ruin. As viewers, we're left wondering, is this the beginning of the end for woke Hollywood or just a temporary setback? One thing's clear: Disney's reputation may never be the same again.